mountain awakens in winter. A hillside carved by another ice age. On this mountain you can learn to ski, and more, because to ski well is to express yourself. Join us in the Alpine Ski School and we will show you the skills of skiing. They're easy to learn, and as you piece them together you can build a whole range of responses to an ever-changing environment. You can match your mood with the mood of the mountain. As you ski, you can respond to the varying terrain, the texture of the snow, the quality of light. They all form the mountain's changing personality. Set in the 6 mountains of Killington, Vermont, professional ski instructors Burch Findeisen and Kathy Wood take you through the Alpine Ski School. You can participate by watching them, but that is just the beginning. Although Burch and Kathy can give you a sense of the satisfaction of alpine skiing, it's up to you to discover it for yourself on the slopes. When you do, the mountain will be yours. Before you even set your skis on the snow, there are a few basics you need to know about. The first is clothing. Ski clothing should always keep you warm and let you move easily. Feeling warm on the slopes adds to your enjoyment and prevents your muscles from tensing up. Being relaxed but responsive is the key to enjoying skiing. Your hands need comfortable gloves, and goggles are a good idea to protect against wind and snow glare. When you put your skis on, attach them by stepping into the bindings and keep your balance by leaning on the ski poles. There are many different types of bindings, but in most ones today you just step into them. When you grasp the poles, put your hand into the ski pole strap from below. This keeps your hand on the pole in the proper place and gives you good support for your wrist. Walking on skis feels awkward at first because your feet are held quite rigidly by the boots and bindings, but it's easy to get used to. Your boots help you to perform the way you want to on the slopes, and you need a snug, comfortable fit for them to do that. How long your skis are depends on your learning method, your experience, and the style you develop. Keep your feet comfortably apart and keep your balance over your whole foot. Remember, the more relaxed you are, the more freedom you have to move. Glide the skis over the snow alternately. Move each leg in coordination with the opposite arm, the same as when you're walking. Keep your hands fairly low with the pole points near your heels. This will enable you to push yourself along easier. It's a very straightforward principle in skiing. To turn the skis, turn your feet. To change direction, take small steps. Push from one foot to another as you would walking round a corner in the street. Here you're starting to feel the pressure of your foot against your boot. You're transferring your weight from one foot to the other, and your skis are slightly angled against the snow. This is the beginning of what it feels like to ski. Developing your sense of balance is important in skiing. Like any other sense, it can be developed. You already have it, you just need to learn how to use it. Feel your weight distributed over all your foot, a little more over the front as you flex forward. When you start climbing uphill, you first come into contact with what's called the fall line of the hill. The fall line is the steepest angle of the slope, the line a ball would take if you rolled it downhill. The least tiring way to climb up a hill is by sidestepping. It's like walking sideways upstairs. The edges of the skis bite into the side of the hill. You grip the snow by angling the ski edge against it. This is called edging, and it's an important skill in skiing at any level. The herringbone is another way of climbing uphill. It's named after the pattern the skis leave on the snow. Move the ski tips out to form a V shape. This prevents you from sliding back downhill. Move your knees inwards so that you're slightly knock-kneed. This angles the ski edges against the slope so they bite into the snow. This gives you the grip you need when you're climbing uphill. You need to take long enough steps to make sure you don't step on the tails of the skis. Now that you know how to glide forward, you'll need to know how to stop, and the easiest way is with the skis in a wedge. This is like a herringbone in reverse. Flex your knees and ankles forward. Let the skis brush over the snow with your tips pointing in. Lower your body and widen the V so that your skis angle more against the snow. This slows you down. The buildup of friction between the snow and skis works as a brake. You can also use the wedge to control your speed down the hill without stopping. At this stage, a beginner can start to move a little more freely down the slope. With wedge turns, you can begin to turn the skis across the fall line. Start with your skis in the wedge. Now notice how, to begin the turn, Kathy moves her weight towards her right ski, the ski that she is steering with. To continue the turn, she turns both feet in the direction she wants to go. The steering ski becomes the outside ski. The other one is called the inside ski. The skis stay in a wedge. Keep it as narrow as possible, but keep it comfortable. You find out more about edging skills doing wedge turns. If your skis are flat, it's very difficult to complete the turn, but it's also possible to edge it too much. There are no hard and fast rules. You can only learn by practicing which angle is best for you. The turn is started with your body in a relatively tall stance and your legs flexed down as you go through the turn. Butch's stance is flexed and natural, balanced and not forced. It should feel comfortable. When you begin to feel confident on your skis, you can change the pressure and edge angles to control your speed and stop whenever you want to. A wedge turn is the easiest way to stop. Linking wedge turns together gives you your first experience of moving downhill in a flowing, continuous action. At the beginning of a turn, you put more weight on your outside ski or your steering ski. To come out of the turn, you distribute your weight equally over both skis. Now you can begin to link turns together and go downhill without stopping. Begin the turn by steering with the outside ski. Keep the skis in a wedge. End the turn by equalizing the pressure on both skis and they point back downhill. Now you can move into the next turn. Edge your steering ski against the snow and move your weight towards it. This gives you the power to move into the turn. Here's where the edging starts and you move into the turn. Before ski lifts were invented, skiers just had to spend hours climbing to the top of the slopes. Now ski lifts have opened up ski areas all over the world to a constant stream of skiers. But to ride them efficiently, you need to get the hang of them. When you're traveling up with someone else, you both need to make sure you're ready to get on in the same place at the same time. Move into position. Hold your poles in one hand, away from the approaching chairlift and from your friend's poles too. You look over your shoulder, reach out with your free hand, sit down, settle back, and keep your ski tips up. If there's a retention bar, lower it once you're comfortable. Near the top of the hill, a sign will tell you when to raise the retention bar and get ready to get off. As you reach the ramp, edge forward and keep your ski tips up. Once the ramp is under you, put your skis down firmly, stand up, and let the chair push you forward. Let's see that again. Ski down the ramp out of the way of other skiers coming up behind you. Once you know how to travel down the slope by linking wedge turns together, you can go on to the Christie turn. The Christie, which gets its name from a Norwegian town, is really a controlled skid or side slip. The idea of skidding or slipping might seem a bit worrying to new skiers, but the Christie is a controlled skid. Some skiers even discover it for themselves spontaneously. Mastering the basic Christie gives you more control and variety in how you can turn. Both Butch's legs steer forcefully in the direction of the new turn. The momentum increases the pressure on the outside ski. At this point, the inside ski is flattened and lines up with the outside ski. It's when both the ski edges are flattened against the snow that they slip sideways. You finish the turn and stop the skid by edging both skis into the hill. Move your legs in the direction of the new turn. Line up your skis. Finish the turn by edging both skis into the hill. As your confidence increases, the wedge you begin your turn with gets narrower. You'll find that you edge your skis against the snow sooner and the skis move side by side earlier. You probably won't move as far across the slope when you are turning, and you'll stick closer to the fall line. All the actions are telescoped, and you make what's called a fall line Christie. To do this, you progress by degrees from the basic Christie rather than learning a new maneuver. When she's making the fall line Christie, Kathy's skis are pointing downhill more and cutting across the fall line less. Kathy steers into the turn. The skis skid around. She stops the turn by edging the skis and moves into the next turn. For the first time with the fall line Christie, you can enjoy the thrill of feeling the entire turn on a skidding ski. You can brace against the skid and feel the pressure build up underneath your feet until the point when you decide to end the turn by increasing the edging of the skis. Once you get to the stem Christie, the wedge is beginning to disappear from the turn. In fact, just half of the wedge is left. You use that stem to begin your turn. You can see a definite stemming action here as Butch and Kathy direct each new turn. What you do is form the stem, steer into the turn and skid. Then when you want to finish the skid, you just increase the edge angle of both skis. Distribute your weight over both skis, then move into the next turn. Butch's poles help him to decide how far he wants to travel across the fall line during his turns. Just watch how responsive Butch is to the terrain. Using the poles as feelers, he judges when he wants to stem the outside ski and move across the fall line into the next turn. As you guide your skis into a turn, your knees bend. As you come out of the turn, your body moves up. This up and down movement can help you build rhythm into your skiing. Building a rhythm to your skiing is important because it means you can link your turns together with less effort. It's like riding a bike. Once you find your rhythm and get comfortable with it, it's easy. Rhythm saves energy and gives you a more fluid action. You've got to be in good condition to get the most out of skiing. The areas you really need to work on are the legs, stomach, and lower back. Here, Butch is stretching the front and back of his thighs. When you do this action, you can exercise both legs together. The hamstrings and lower back take a lot of strain in skiing, so they need to be well taken care of. This is a good all-round exercise for the stomach, lower back, and the quadriceps, which are a big group of muscles in the front of the thigh that do a lot of work in skiing. Kathy is stretching her lower back, hamstrings, and calf muscles here. This exercise is to tone up your legs so you can get the right blend of relaxation and flex in your muscles. You really need some experience before tackling this exercise because you have to be steady on the ski you're standing on. Once you've mastered it, it's excellent for your legs. Up to this point, you've seen how to develop your skiing to enjoy most slopes. In all the turns Butch and Kathy have shown us, they've turned both legs together in the last part of the turn, and at the beginning of those turns, they moved their legs independently. But when you go on to parallel turns, you begin by moving upwards, flattening the skis and turning both skis in the new direction. The steering is more obvious on the outside leg, but you do actually turn with both legs. At the beginning of the turn, you steer both skis and change both edges almost together. The ski pole is helpful here in making a strong turn. As you move across the slope, you flex down, and when your body is as low as it's going to be, touch the pole, move up and around the pole and into the turn. Just by extending his legs, Butch makes both skis lighter so it's easier to steer in the direction of the new turn. In this sequence of turns, you can pick out the point when Butch decides to unweight his skis and steers both legs into the turn. You can make your turns as wide or as narrow as you like, depending on where you want to be on the hill. When you want to get ready to begin a new turn, you move upwards again and turn your skis in the direction you want to go. What you're doing in a short swing turn is creating a powerful combination of muscle tension and pressure on the skis. When you release these forces, the skis accelerate and become much lighter. Finishing the turn aggressively with both edges builds up a force which is released when you extend your legs. To do that, you stabilize your upper body by planting the pole definitely and your legs slide forward. The extension and compression of the body contrast dramatically in this action. Flexing your legs like this controls the pressure of the skis on the snow. The total effect is less like the turns we've seen so far and more of a swinging movement across the fall line. The short swing turn is one of the most exciting maneuvers in alpine skiing. Exciting to watch, but best of all, exciting to do. The best way of learning alpine skiing is to actually ski. The Alpine Ski School experience is not complete until you try out on the slopes what Butch and Kathy have shown you. There is no secret to alpine skiing. Nothing experts know that beginners can't find out. The improvements you make in your skiing grow from a better understanding of your own reactions as you ski. The mountain itself is your best teacher. Each mountain tells you something different. You'll learn to judge for yourself how well you're skiing from what your body tells you. You'll know how well you're skiing by listening to the changing hiss of your skis. You'll develop an intuitive feel for skiing and know just when and how to change your balance. Then you will achieve a sense of harmony with the mountain. Only by actually skiing can you hone your responses to the point where your skiing becomes a means of self-expression.